All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing your day. By His mercies, you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house, His body too. We're naturally alive, man. And yeah, man, it's just another fact that we're alive, man, too, man. And I want to get into this too as well, man, because kind of like we was talking about yesterday, and I think we was talking about the day before that in the conversation I had with my mom, like and shout out to brother Semi Firstborn because he said this as well, man, because. Let's go to the law real quick. Let's go to Exodus 20 real quick. This all goes into witness and testimony, the Most High in your house shall, and how the Most High in your house shall their life, honestly, man. How we always talk about how pretty much, man, you could be alive but be spiritually dead, because like the brother Semi Firstborn said, everybody has breath, but not everybody has the breath of life, man. Honestly, was that the Holy Spirit, the Most High house, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. So and there's life in that, man, and life in the Word. So I want to get into this, man, because why is it like the really? Because one, it's that aspect of where these dynamics come from, when he said had no other gods before me. Pretty much just that dynamic of when a man gets with a woman and she's been married before, and or even she's dealt with certain several men before, and and he says, listen, don't compare me to them because I'm not them. I'm different from them. The same thing because Jeremiah 6:2, that's why he said that to us in Joshua, leave those other gods on the other side. And that's why he said in Judges too, if you want to be with those gods, why don't you just go crowd with them? Why don't you, same thing when a man says that, listen, you want to be those gods, go be with them. Or this, like a man says, listen, since you keep bringing up all your past your ex-husband or your ex-boyfriends, whatever ex-men that you dealt with, go be with them, or go get with somebody else. Don't be with me. That's why he likens us to it. Like he says that I liken Israel to a woman, because that's what pretty much he said that, and there's where that dynamic came from. But also too, it's the same aspect. Even in that aspect, even in this, because a lot of times too, I remember a conversation, it was years ago, actually, yeah, I was working not too far from where I live with now, in the apartment complex, and I think Kobe Bryant came up with whatever. I think they was talking about how, I don't know if that's true or not, which come, or what's his name, Paul Gasol was what Kobe Bryant's, they could be really cool, but I don't know, I was just really, I said when I saw a picture at the time, I was like, wait, no, what's going on here, because they was on the boat together. This was years ago though, but pretty much, man, I think they, but it wasn't that situation directly, but they were talking about how Kobe Bryant thinks that, or the kind of conversation came up. I think that was how it came up, but or one of my coworkers, Jake brother, said, listen, if you had an ex, husband or something like that died, and I'm with you, something like that, and if you're a widow or if you're an ex-husband that and he died, things in that, you're gonna have to move all those pictures of him, because listen, you with me now, man. So and that's and why am I saying that? Because it's similar to what we talking to now, because that's where the Most High in your house says, listen, we're the God of the living, not of the dead. Pretty much, why is he so against idol worship, man? Because why you're worshiping reverend things that don't have life when I'm life, man. So it's kind of similar to that dynamic. That makes sense. Probably not the best example, but let's grab this. It says 20 verse 4. It says, thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of a thing that is in heaven or above, that is under earth and beneath, or that is that in the water, or under the earth. So yeah, man, that exactly. You should not go in the next verse goes into how he's a jealous God, man. It says, and also too, that's what Paul's talking about with the godly jealousy too, as well. That all goes into being in his image. But it says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness, then in heaven is above, or heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water in the earth. So see, exactly, man. So that's why, man, because why is the Most High in your house so against that, man? Because why? Y'all compare, y'all reverence, and you got the gall, one, to put me, because people do it all the time. I'm like, listen, man, they don't put the Most High in your house shot, next to these other guys. No, the their God is, dead. Well, some of these Kemet people, they worship the gods are dead, whatever, but, in other places too, because that's where pretty much all the stuff really derives from. Then after that, but But pretty much, man, all these people that worship these other deities, man, they're dead. But the Most High House is life. But you know what it is too? It's crazy because you know what it's too. Here's I think the Brother Chronicles of Judah said this years ago, right? You know it's crazy that like all those gods that these people worship throughout the world, all these other nations, even our people, all these other people worship. Like you could see them, but they're not real, and they could they're not alive, but the most the most real spirit, more like feeling, the real experience and real feeling that you get from the Most High House, man, is from gods, from the deities, that you cannot see, man. But that's the most real one, man. So that's where that Hebrews 11:1 kicks in, that the faith is with the unseen, man. Because we dealing with, especially when you deal with this is our people as well, but also too, this is the world in general. Everybody here is dealing with such a see to believe it type of people, and from a natural aspect, I can understand from a natural aspect, especially coming from, because listen, like we all say, shout out to Brother Sammy first, because pointed out, because me, even before the word, at least I had the luxury of listen. I've only a few people, but one person that comes to mind. Listen, a lot of people that didn't had this come up. That one person that even they don't know how it was going to get done or when it was going to get done, but it was going to get done. So and that one of those people was my uncle. He always a man of his word. You don't know how it's going to get done, but it always got done. But see it when. But if you're coming from a lot of people that didn't, some people had that, they just don't believe. Whatever. They got other reasons why. But we always break it down to 4 reasons. But I don't really got time to go into that right now. But even a lot of people didn't have that. So it's like, listen, okay, if all these my loved ones and all these other people that I could see, then I could then love me, or then then love me, guide me, or instruct me, or care for me. How could I trust somebody I can't see? So, but honestly though, that's the most thing is the unseen though, man. And also too, that's when you have power. That's what we go into. There's a lot of power with not even showing yourself, man. Because that's why in the Wire the Greek was so important, man. Because that's why I said, my name is not my name. Because you don't even know, you can't, you don't even know who I am. But when you don't know, somebody even looks like, man, there's power in that, man, just off the name. But at the same time, Marlo, my name is my name. That's how the Most High House is about the name too. Don't profane my holy name. That's also that balance of it. But also too, man, that's why in Charlie's Angels you couldn't see a boss. There's a lot of power, and at least when that breeds mystique, it breeds a lot of power, man. That's why y'all grew up watching the Proud Family, like Wizard Kelly, all these cartoons when the character wouldn't show their face, man, it breeds a certain power. Even me and my homie, man, he was telling me about when we was working together, man. He said, listen, he had a boss one time, during his tenure at his company, man. He said, listen, man, he was always in the background. If you would walk by him, you didn't know that was a boss, man. But see, there's power in that. Honestly, that's why in Isaiah 45 it says he that hides himself, man. Because you can't see him. Because a lot of times too, when you can't see nobody, you don't know know what they look like, man. That person holds a lot of power, and just off the name itself, man. But that's something else for another day, man. But let's get this Ecclesiastes chapter 30 real quick, man, because yeah, man, because it's more of I think I was gonna go somewhere else. We was gonna go somewhere else, but it's all good, man. But this sacrifice is just it's not only just sacrifice to God, but also too it's your life. It's your life, honestly. Let's get this Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 30, verse 19. It says, "What good doeth offering unto an idol? For neither it can nor smell, neither can it eat nor smell. So is he that is persecuted of the Lord." So see, exactly. So it says, what good is it to do is offering unto idol? For neither can it eat nor smell. For he that's persecuted, so is he that's persecuted of the Lord. So see, let's go to Romans real quick, man, because it's more than what our people what people do now and throughout history and offering. It's really your life. Just see those idols in your heart. Honestly, that's why it says they get the idols out your heart, man. That's why 1 John says, little children stay away from idols. Mainly the idols, because everything starts within. Idols out from your heart. Then because it all starts in the in the mind. It's all starts in the heart, man. So, but let's get this Romans chapter 12, man, because this was really offering, because it's talking about worshiping other gods, and pretty much that are dead, man. Like, and also too, even like, like some people, like, like we put on the other day, like actual one, and that's why most people, they had narcissistic tendency, because the actual narcissist is actually an idolater. Like, I would say, like, honestly, from afar, I don't know the man, but LeBron James, like, that's kind of a level of that, like that, honestly. Now get it, can I understand, like, let me even look at it from another perspective, because it's a lot of times too, but that's where humility kicks in. Like, it's natural, just even without the word, that aspect of somebody as accomplished as him being kind of egomaniacal things, or having a big ego, or like, because all like, even though the natural great men do that, man, of great men do it. I mean, it's like what it is, but also too, but that's not of the Most High Yahshua, man. You move with humility, man. Like the brother Chronicles just said, like, your ego really should be, like, it's not even ego per se, like, should be used as a sword, like, a lot of times. Only doing when you had to, because pretty much what I'm saying is, sometimes you only have to, like, we should, like, remind people of resume when you had to. That's why Proverbs and Solomon says, listen, I'll have an answer for anybody that criticize me. That's why even Paul says, what, I was a Pharisee. As a Pharisee, sometimes he had to, a few times he had to let him know, like, listen, I'm not just kind of anybody here. So, like, so yeah, this is what it is. But that should be used only when it really kind of has to be. But yeah, but that like, somebody like that, that's kind of a level of, like, of a, like, actual narcissist, like, like that, and that means an idolater, like, and actually too, most of the time those the people on the left hand side of the Commanding Babylonian mystery school system, man, when they're talking about, like, the gods on the left hand side, like, the goat, Pan, the Bacchus, whatever. When they say think the Most High, whatever, thank God, whatever. Or sometimes they talk about their damn self. So too, like, that's another story for another day, though, man. But let's grab this too. Romans chapter 12 verse 1. It says, I beseech you, brother. Therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Exactly. So, and let's get this too. That's how That's why Cain's sacrifice too was actual sacrifice, but you could tell that it was actually his life as well, man. Because they even like this. What? Let's read this Sirach again. Ecclesiastes again. It says, what good doeth offering unto an idol? For neither can smell, neither can it eat nor smell. For so is he that is persecuted of the Lord. So see, that's the offering as well. You like worshiping other gods, regarding it, like, any idol in your heart, or sometimes even a lot of people lovers themselves, but, like, this, or your own will, pretty much, I should say. But yeah, man, that's is what it is, man. But all worship, like, that's pretty much, there's no life in that, honestly, man. It's not life with the Most High Yahshua, because even if people that do worship themselves are like, there's no life, like, there's a breath in their natural life, like, because you are a person alive, but spiritually you're dead. Spiritually, like, yeah, you don't have the breath of life. So, and that's that Proverbs 21:16. Like, the way a man without understanding is what in the congregation of Dan. What's that understanding? That Jeremiah 9:24 understanding the Most High Yahshua, having that Daniel science, the science that Daniel had, which is the knowledge of God, pretty much. What is that? What's that knowledge of the Most High Yahshua? Exodus 34:6, Numbers 14:18, Jeremiah 9:24, knowing who they are and operating what's, like, not knowing their name. This is what's attached to them, who they are. So, yeah, man, that's just what it is. Let's go to Mark real quick, man, because, yeah, that's going to, like, you pretty much, you're, like, you're giving, you're worshiping, like, things that don't have life. So let's get to Mark chapter 12 verse 27. It says, he's not the God of dead, but the God of living. Therefore, do greatly err. Exactly, man. So yeah, man, that's just what it is, man. Yeah. So pretty much, man, those things that don't have life, man. Luke chapter 20 verse 38, man. Yeah, man. So that's sacrifice to the idol, man. That's the one that's coming from within, and also too, that's your life, like worshiping other gods, or like the idols that's in your heart. That goes into, like, let's grab this real quick. Luke chapter 20 verse 38. It says, For he's not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. For all live unto him. Exactly. See, for all live unto him. So see, that goes into Romans 14:8. When we live, we die. We all the Lord. It's all His will, man. All the Most High Yahweh's will, man. So, and also too, man. Let's grab a Let's get this, man. Little children stay. Cause you know it's that was the point I was gonna make, man. Cause that's why, even though, see, listen, that's. Let's get this second. No, we're gonna go here, cause a lot of our people can fall into this as well. Noise. And I remember the Grinch. He said, that noise. That's how it was, man. Dealing with these children, man. Hearing these. Oh my gosh. But even the Grinch, though, at one point, like, you know, then he later on ended up celebrating it, like the cold Christmas thing. Like, it was that meme where I was like, yo, the Grinch was trying to save y'all souls. It is hilarious, but, you know, then he ended up at the end. But see, that kind of goes into, that's like kind of goes into, because I remember, like, even before I came into work, I saw the gym, I saw the, what was that? I think it was. I saw the Grinch 2018 one with Benedict Cumberbatch, the one that plays the Edomite that plays Doctor Strange. Him. It was voiced over by him, and it went into Grinch's backstory of how he was left out. He didn't get anything for Christmas, pretty much. And then that's how he kind of became what he did what he did. But that kind of goes back into the veil that we talked about earlier, like living vicariously through, the children, man. Now now like giving them that you didn't have, like but now that breeds a level of entitlement. That can breed a level of entitlement and pretty much entitlement and just like things revolve around them and things of that nature. But or like on the inverse, it could breed something like a Grinch. Now you're gonna come to. Now I'm not defending like Christmas nothing like that or because it's all whatever. But now he's going in. Yeah, that's entitlement as well. Going in, taking other people's stuff off because you didn't get what you want. Now you're gonna take what somebody else had, somebody else's other people's possessions and do that stuff like that. Now, well, am I against what he on a natural tip? Since we talking about this, am I against that? No, because really that's is what it is. But it's deeper. It's deeper than because that's more of a traditional thing too. Even though it's wicked, it is stuff like that. But now it's just more people worship. Some people knowingly do it and just go into it because one, with that whole Christmas and holiday thing, it's more like traditional and things of that nature. But it's not. Once you know the history and you still keep going, yeah, that's on you. But more than likely, people don't care because it's traditional. But that's something. That's something for another time period. But let me grab this to the point because I'm talking about the Grinch. I'm tripping, but I just wanted to go into that because that kind of goes into the point like what we talking about though, because sometimes you could try to trying to live vicariously. A lot of times not really good. It breeds the outcome really is not good. Rather than instilling things, one instilling the word of the faith in Most High in children and the next generation, but also two good principles, life values, morals, and characteristics. Honestly, so they could become good, upstanding people. But yeah, man, let's get this too, let's grab this too, man. Let's go to second Esdras real quick, man. Because a lot of times, this is the thing, our people, man. Because a lot of our times we think our people think especially this side of Esau's kingdom, living in the western part of the world. We think what you call them, moving out of the country. If you want to move out of the country, that's cool, man. Honestly, but it is what it is. But kind of like Hebrews. Now, would I move out of the country? Do I think about that sometimes? Moving though, but yeah, I do. But that's not the end all be all. Because at the end, it's like Hebrews says, listen, do we desire a continuing city, that new heavens and new earth, man? That is what it is at the end of the day. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Especially because the scripture even says, a man that well traveled knows one much experience. My brother, he's an artist. He travels, man. He's in the arts. He dances. He's just creative. So he's seen the world, man. So there's nothing wrong with that because you gain a lot of wisdom, honestly. And that's a good thing. And that's true. I plan to do it, Lord willing, more. But at the end of the day, the root of it is that the new heavens, new earth, new Jerusalem. That's a city we should be seeking. But a lot of times too, I'm saying this because a lot of our people, we do this. How much, because we think that's a resolution, but it's really not. Because how much idolatry is going on in this world, idolatry, not just only in this side, in the world, man. Cause like I was just like even in my favorite like spot to eat, man, like one not too far from me, a few blocks away in the plaza, man. It's like a halal spot, man. But if you go in there and you watch like on the screen, sometimes they got the people worshiping worshiping like over in there in the Middle East with the Kaaba stone, man. Those Muslims, man. So you like think about that even sometimes our people want to we want to do a non-set in Belly, man. When he said the T-Boss character in Belly, let's go back to Africa, or let's go back to Africa. Like my brother's been over Africa, he loved it too. But you know how much idolatry and stuff like that is going on there, even throughout the world, man. So that's just another thing too, the level of idolatry. That's why a new heavens, new earth has to be made. Not only innocent bloodshed, but the idolatry, all this other stuff. That's why, man. So that's another reason too. But see, that all lies in death as well. Not only what we see here, but this like the idolatry that goes on here, like but even throughout the world, man. Even if you move out the country, man. That's why people just over there is wicked. Like I would say me personally, it's probably not as heightened like here, but but hey, it's just as here that idolatry and stuff like that, and that's just that's even just as bad. Just because of certain things that don't go on over there, different from like America, North America, doesn't mean it's just as bad in the Most High house as in heaven. Like according to this on a heavenly level, man. That's just is what it is, man. So yeah, man. Let's get to Second Esdras chapter 20, and also too our people a lot of times too because listen, I like me my brothers, I'm pretty sure your brothers and sisters, even like myself, man, we worked in corporate America before or stuff like that, or we dealt with other nations before. They just as bad as us, because Proverbs 14 says sin is a reproach to any people, man, because a lot of times too we think our people like other nations, stuff like that, they're not as bad as our people. But Ezra said the same thing. He said, no, man, let's just read it. Second Esdras, this is in the Good News translation. Second Esdras chapter 3 and verse 28. It says, I said to myself, perhaps Babylon has been allowed to conquer Jerusalem because the people who live there are better than we are. Verse 29. But when I got to Babylon, I saw more sins that I could count. And now for 30 years I have seen many sinners here. And so I was perplexed. So yeah, like, I remember, man, years ago when I was working for a city, I put in a transfer to start all. It was really to start off at the like when I started working for a city. Well, I did a program to work for a city. I started off at the yard at the site that I wanted to start out with, because when I started working for a city, I moved to a site that was closer to me. But I applied for requested a transfer to where I first started at. But but things had changed since then. It was a few months or almost a year. Well, it was a few months since that happened. And one of my supervisors at the current spot was that he said, "Listen, man, the grass ain't green on the other side." So once I got there, I was like, "Oh yeah." I was there for a little bit for a while, but then I realized that, man. But that when he said that, man, always. Of course, you heard we a lot of times we heard that before, but knowing, like, living that, seeing that, man, like, listen, that's all you're talking about. The grass ain't greener on the other side, man, with our people, because we think our people a lot of times moving to Atlanta or something like that, or or even when I remember, I love the movie, but when it came out, like, even Black Panther came out, it came like an Oz for us, like a Wizard of Oz, like the Wakanda thing, like, even though that was Hamitic and we're Shemitic, but like the whole Wakanda thing, we kind of thought that was the next place and took on that mentality, or going back to Africa or this place or that place, like, and that's not it, man. It's really seeking the Most High Yahushua, like, living according to the promises, like, the witness, the testimony, the gospel, the God being preached, so our faith and our God can be increased, and then being to his instruction. That's it, man. Because what did he say? We will be redeemed without money, like, so that's just is what it is, man. So, and what this Hebrews 2 and 3 says, like, how can we escape if we neglect salvation? Roughly paraphrasing, man. So that's just what it is, man. I just wanted to come on here and say pretty much it's really much with the Most High Yahushua's life, man. It's life there, man. Honestly, man. Because, like, because people would say, why, like, why do you believe in the Most High Yahushua? Why do you, because, a lot of times, too, I was like, I always say, listen, it just brings, like, one, because now, with the gospel witness and the testimony, new covenant, man, you learn, like, knowing, or you got, man, why? Because there's life there, man, because you love life. Don't you love life? So, yeah, man, and not even this natural life. Of course, you like natural life, but spiritually being alive, man, like, that's is what it is, man. So, Yeah, man, because I always like, everybody. Well, I can't tell you what to say, but everybody's like, answers different. But then, man, that's life. Like, do you love life? Then yeah, you love the Most High Yahshua. I love the Most High Son, Most High Christ, or you know, even if you brothers and sisters use God and Jesus, like hey, it is what it is, man. So, um, yeah, or Yahushua, your Yahweh whatever, man. You love that. There's life in that. So. Hopefully this is edifying. My bad for the long way. Y'all know I am the sidebar like king, man. I just kind of the soliloquy king. I kind of be loquacious a lot because I'm sorry because once I get excited about this, so but sometimes I gear off to the point, and but man, what's up to y'all brothers and sisters? So peace.